Rutherford. Today, a good battle in the NFC. It's the Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants. We welcome you, Mike Tirico, Greg Olson. It's Graham Gano to get this one started. And off we go from East Rutherford. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive.
At their own 27.
So the Packers come out, and they are led by Jordan Love, who followed Aaron Rodgers after playing apprentice for a couple of seasons. And now for Love, it is his third season as the Green Bay starter.
And I think each of the last 2 seasons since he's become a full-time starter, Mike, all we've seen Jordan Love do is improve week by week, year by year. And when you talk to his head coach, Matt LaFleur, he's very clear. He said, there is no question in my mind. He can become one of the elite quarterbacks in this league. He just needs to do 2 things. Stay healthy and keep winning. So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
3 plays in and a test. It's 3rd and 2. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. That is incomplete, but there is a flag down.
Foul.
Big call here. It was 3rd down.
Automatic first down.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Love. The outside, it's brought in by Golden. And he'll get about 3 as he's forced out of bounds.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
They'll run out of the gun with Jacobs. And they'll take this down inside the 35. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Once again, it's Jacobs. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. 13 more on that carry. He is churning out the yards.
First down.
And another first down.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
He'll be taken down after a gain of 2.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Now Love. Reaching for it, the tight end couldn't bring it in. It's incomplete. Luke Musgrave, the tight end, was the intended target there.
The coverage by
now it's going to be third down.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
From the gun, on third down, it's Luck. And the Packers are going to have first and goal as the tackle's made at about the 5-yard line.
It's a gain of 14 yards. That's another Packers first down. First and goal, Green Bay.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the first down anyway.
Hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up second down.
I think it's a smart play, especially this early in the game. I don't think you want to start forcing throws, take any unnecessary risks, allow your team to get settled in, don't have any sudden change turnovers. So I think in the end there, he made the right move.
And that is incomplete, but there is a flag down into the play.
Roughing the passer.
By the quarterback. Let's see.
Automatic first down.
What a critical flag. Roughing the passer. It sets up first and goal. Jacobs. This defense backed up, but they bring the fire there. Stop him before he can get past the 3-yard line.
No gain on the play.
Depending on the situation or the down and distance, Mike, the linebackers have different reads. Sometimes they read the offensive lineman. Sometimes they read the running back. In this case, his read brings him right to the play. He's able to make a big stop and keep the game to nothing.
Here's a screen taken in by Jacobs. Fighting for the goal line. He lost the football. It's out.
Trust me, Mike, I've been there. You're this close to the goal line. You're thinking you're going to score, and it's going to be 6. You're fighting, you're clawing, but you can't lose the ball. Everything has to be about protecting the football. Your heart drops when that ball slips out of your hands, and in this case, kind of dodges a bullet as this one goes harmlessly out of bounds.
And now movement up front. This crowd is making it tough down deep in the red zone.
Still third down.
So can the defense come up with the early stop here on third and goal? Love. In trouble, and down he goes.
Jordan
Looked like a pass protection breakdown. They had 5 offensive linemen and a running back in the backfield. I promise you, somebody was assigned to that linebacker, but he timed the blitz perfectly. He ran through and was able to bring him down for a big sack.
Brandon McManus and the field goal unit come on. Officially, a 29-yard attempt. McManus's kick is good. And the Packers will take a 3-0 lead.
A lot of times as an offensive player, you come off the field, you're not thrilled to end a drive like this with a field goal. But I think in this case, you can label it a success. You were able to operate your offense. You were able to quiet this crowd just a little bit and come away with an early lead.
Three points on that opening drive. We'll see the response as the kick's away. On the return, it's Gunnar Olszewski. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line.
The Giants take over.
The Giants offense making their way out for the first time. They're led out by the first-round pick in 2025 out of Ole Miss. It's Jackson Dart.
And Dart was the second quarterback taken in this year's draft, only behind Cam Ward out of Miami. And you look back to his time with Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, he put up some monster numbers. And you got to think, he's the youngest quarterback of the entire 25 draft. So can he transition to a pro-style offense? Can he play the style in which they want to play in New York? From a physical standpoint, from an athletic standpoint, like Jackson Dart looks like the prototypical modern-day NFL quarterback. Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
They'll run again. It's Tracy again. And he's out of bounds up beyond the 40-yard line. 18 yards on the pickup there.
18.
First down, Giants.
And the Giants.
This is a clear example of a running back who really trusts his speed. He understands if he just holds his line towards the sideline, he's going to outrun most of the defenders on the field. That's exactly what he does. Picks up the first down before being forced out of bounds.
On the play fake, here's Dart. Under pressure, and down he goes. They got him.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack, and we're going to see which team can establish a little bit more of this control as the game unfolds.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Operating from the gun, it's Dart. This one not quite on target. Let him too much. That one falls incomplete.
He just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
On the run to the right, and it will slide to a halt with a penalty marker down on the play.
Holding.
Let's check out this call.
That penalty is declined.
So on 4th down, out is Jamie Gillen to punt for the Giants. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and we'll come out to the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Packers offense going to take over now for the 2nd time. They were able to turn that opening drive into points. 3-0 our score as they start again with a first down. Jacobs to start the drive. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
On the tackle.
The best offensive play callers in the NFL, Mike, do a great job tying in their under-center run game, like we just saw here, with their under-center play action game. And the ability to make those two things look alike, man, it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
A 2nd down throw for Love. And that ball in and out of his hands. It is incomplete. Might tell you after the game he should have come up with that one. He doesn't. And now 3rd down comes up.
And less than a
His
yard.
offense is doing everything they can to quiet this crowd. And even though they missed on that long attempt, at least it sets the tone that they're going to continue to attack. If they can come up with a completion on one of those downfield passes, it's going to go a long way to settling themselves into this game.
And he will have a Packers first down. At least at first glance, they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
31-yard line.
I don't want to take anything away from the quarterback here, Mike. He did a nice job picking up that first down. But this play is won or lost by the big guys up front. They're the ones who need to get off the snap on time, get leverage on the defender.
Oh, no chance there. Under a heavy rush, he goes down. Bobby Okereke. He gets into drop it. It's a loss of 8.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
On second down, run. Get this over the middle to Golden. And he'll be very close to a first down. Won't quite have enough, but now a much more advantageous spot.
It's now third down.
So often, sacks, especially on first down, can be drive killers. But their ability here to take this from second and long to third and short, they've got a really good opportunity here, Mike. If they don't get it on third, don't be surprised if they go for it on fourth.
And he will have a Packers first down. At least it would appear that way. Didn't get it by much, but yes, they do give him the conversion on third and 1.
When done correctly, Mike, this is just such a high percentage call. It's kind of hard to choose another play off your call sheet. It's impossible to defend. You can know it's coming, stack the box, whatever you want to do. But most of the time, they'll just drive forward and pick up the first down.
And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all.
Running back looked a little unsure of himself on that carry there, Mike. You have to think back to that fumble earlier in the game. How much is that still weighing on his mind? He didn't really seem to attack that hole like we've seen in the past. He gets stopped for no gain.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll take this right to the 43-yard line. Darius Musa there on the tackle.
You know, it's easy to sit up here and say, hey, just keep running the ball. They've been efficient, just kind of wear down this defense by 1,000 different paper cuts. But the problem is it's only contingent upon your ability to keep the score down. So if you want to continue to run the ball this often, you're going to have to look to their defense to play really well.
Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looks like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
So the hope is your 1/3 down conversion from really jump-starting a possession that ultimately leads in points. But after that third down incompletion, kind of throws a wrench into those plans.
On fourth down, the Packers turn it over to Daniel Whelan to punt. Gunnar Olszewski is deep for the Giants.
The
Giants offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. He's going to be marked down up around the 33. 13 yards to start that drive. And a quick first down.
And the Giants.
The ability to be effective on first down, Mike, it just makes everything else easier. In the event you do have to face a third down the road, they're usually a lot more manageable situations, a lot easier to convert.
And this will be incomplete, but there's a flag back
Personal
in the
foul.
backfield where the
Roughing the
quarterback
passer.
is.
Defense.
They may have got him after he released the ball.
Automatic first down.
The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
And they go with the RPO there in the hopes of making something happen after the catch. So often you can kind of run your receiver through those voided zones and come out the backside. I just didn't love the timing. I think He got to just let that play develop a little bit longer and not be in such a hurry.
He'll push forward for about a yard. Way Walker, the linebacker.
He was taken down at the 50-yard line. A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
Third, they need 8. Out of the gun, here comes Dart. And he'll just have to throw this one away. There was nowhere to go downfield. And now it's going to bring up a 4th down.
So I really like the decision, Mike. This is a rookie quarterback making more veteran decisions. And I think in his growth process this early on in his career, those are really good signs, because how often do we see these rookies still think they're back in college, they're the best player on the field, and they can make every throw, even if it's not there. You're not going to get away with that consistently in the NFL. Throw it away. Really nice job here by the young quarterback.
The Packers offense make their way out to take over once more. They'll look to build on their 3-0 lead as this drive starts with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Love. That one down the field, but they cannot connect, and it's incomplete. He was trying to connect with Matthew Golden that time.
On the coverage.
And that will lead to a 2nd down. To the air, it's Love. And the Giants come up with it. In the pocket, looking to throw the ball, but the defense was looking right at the ball. They knock it away and come up with the turnover.
Mike, we see so often a quarterback is so focused, keeping his eyes down the field, looking for one of his receivers to work himself free, that they lose track of where the defenders are. And I think that's exactly what happened here. The defender closed on him quicker than he might have thought, knocks the ball loose, creating the takeaway.
The Giants' offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. They'll start with the football already in the red zone. Big opportunity here on 1st and 10. A play fake, now Dart, and he's going to be taken down back at the 20-yard line.
These are the type of splash plays that can have an impact, especially as the game goes on. So offensive line has to do a better job to make sure that they have this protection shored up and that this isn't a sign of things to come.
A run here with Tracy on 2nd down. He'll manage only about 3, so it will bring up 3rd down.
Edgerrin Cooper on the stop. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 13.
Looking to throw. It's Dart. Down inside the 10. And he'll be out of bounds, well short of the line to gain. And that'll set up 4th down.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the 1st down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks. Now they got a 4th down decision to make.
Gano's kick is good. And the Giants will tie the game at 3 apiece.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
So, the field goal ties things up, and we're back at it as this kicks away. The return starts from the 5. They'll get this up past the 20. And that's where they'll set up shop.
First and 10.
The Packers offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. They'll do so with first and 10. The throw is Love. That is into the hands of Wicks. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
It's a gain of 7.
The drag route is certainly not the most complicated route on the route tree, but a really nice job there using the scheme to create separation. He did a really nice job there working across the middle of the field as he made himself open.
Throwing on second down, Love. The pressure, too much, and he goes down.
Jordan Love.
Brian Burns gets it for a loss of 7. And now it's third down.
I could go on and on about the offensive line breakdowns with this pass protection, and it's been flat out brutal. And let's give some credit to the other side of the ball. They came in not only motivated to make a statement, but with a great game plan, and so far they've executed it to a T.
Third and 10. The throw is Love. That one is batted away. Incomplete. No separation that time. Tightly defended. It brings up fourth down.
So I don't hate this call, Mike. You think it's third and short, everyone's at or near the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of green grass downfield in the passing game. Traditionally, though, I'm a little more comfortable with this call when you've made the decision that even if it falls incomplete, you're going for it on fourth down. So I don't love third and short bomb punt. I do love third and short. Okay, you fail. I'm going to go for it on fourth down.
The Giants offense ready to see what they can do. They'll begin with first and 10. Tracy. He'll work this ahead for 2, maybe 3. Devon Pollard there on the tackle.
Pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7.
From the 23, here's second down and 7. In motion, it's Robinson. Dart going to throw here on second down. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
All right, so anytime you're facing a blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. On play action, it is Dart. Oh, the blitz gets there quickly, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary getting through there to drop him for a loss of 6.
If there's any silver lining for this drive, Mike, it's the fact that at least this sack occurred on an early down. So I guess technically they have a chance to claw themselves out of this hole, but that's the 3rd sack of the game. And this defense doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
To the air on second down. Dart. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral.
Incomplete.
Can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
16.
So the receiver does everything right, except for the most important part. He runs a nice route. He creates great separation downfield. But now you just got to finish that thing off with a catch.
3rd and long, and Dart is going to throw. Nowhere to go. He's going to second down.
A 6-yard
Micah
loss.
Parsons,
It's
too
fourth down.
tough to stop. Gets in to bring him down.
If you can't protect the quarterback in the NFL, you might as well just throw your entire playbook in the garbage. Everything starts there. And with the amount this quarterback's been hit and taken down here in the first quarter, are we confident that we're going to be able to even see him in the game come the second?
Here's Jamie Gillen
in punt
on now,
formation for the Giants.
as he's on to punt for the Giants.
The Packers take over.
Out comes the Green Bay offense now as they get set to take over again. They'll start out first down and 10. They'll start on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all.
Brought down right
You could just
at
see
line
the
of
frustration on the running back's face
No
as
gain
he's
on
getting
the
helped
play.
up off the
Brings
ground.
up
Like,
second
there was just
and 10
nowhere to go from
at
the
the
moment he was
20-yard
handed the
line.
ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
They'll try again here. Second and 10. And Jacobs. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a
A
yard.
2-yard loss brings
He
up
sniffed that
third
one out
down
from the
and
jump.
12.
I mean, once he diagnosed and knew where the ball was going, he got there in a hurry, and he put an end to that play really before it ever got started.
It is third and long. Throwing is Love. Rush comes. They're setting up the screens. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this first quarter.
And out.
So a field goal apiece here in that first quarter. All even, 3 apiece, the score. We're back to upstate New York in just a moment. Here's Daniel Whelan
in
now,
punt formation for
as
the
he is on
Packers.
to punt for Green Bay. And no chance to down this
The
one. It
Giants
carries
take over
deep
first
into the
and
end
10
zone for a
at their
touchdown.
own 20-yard line.
Here's the Giants offense now. They get set to take over once more. They'll work in a tie game here in the second quarter and get started with first and 10. The throw is dark. This to the right side, but it's going to wind up
Intended for
incomplete.
Darius Slayton.
Darius
Incomplete.
Slayton was the
The
intended
coverage
receiver.
by Evan Williams.
And it'll bring up second down.
It's certainly not for the lack of trying, but these guys are having a really hard time getting on the same page right now. I mean, he's still looking for his first catch, despite getting a handful of targets going his way.
That is caught out wide on the RPO.
Pass.
And they'll hold him to a
Complete
gain of
Jalen
just a
Hyatt.
couple and sets up
That's
third
a gain
down.
of 3. It's third
This is one of those
and
throws
7.
where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
Out of the gun, third down. It's dark. He manages to get the throw away and completes it. He's going to have the first down.
A
So
gain
they
of 10
convert
yards.
on third down
And
with
the
a pickup
Giants
of 9.
First down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
Now he'll run it. And the rookie gives himself himself up there at the end. That's a sign of a guy who's learned it quick. Picking up the first down.
That's another Giants first down.
Mike, this is great awareness by the quarterback, manipulating the pocket. He feels the pressure coming on around him, but so often the soft spot is moving up in the pocket. That's exactly what he does. Takes off down the middle of the field, picks up good yardage, and first down.
And he'll push his way ahead for a gain of 2. Micah Parsons on the tackle.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
From a couple of yards shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 8. They'll motion their tight end Johnson. On the ground, it's right back to Tracy. Room to run inside the 40. And they'll take this down inside the 35. Pick up there of 19 yards. That's good for a Giants first down.
First down.
Nice job by them getting the back to the perimeter. Then he's able to get outside, stick his foot in the ground, and then get vertical. Right down the numbers. Those are the type of runs this offense wants to see more of going forward.
And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
17 more yards.
Give him 17 more, and they are on a roll. Another first down.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
On the ground, here's Tracy. That's the way you want to run it on first down. A gain of 7.
At the 9-yard line. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Here's 2nd and 3 to go. In motion, it's Robinson. They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
The line of scrimmage.
These are the impact plays that this linebacker is capable of, Mike. Not only dissecting and determining where the ball was going, but then to shoot through the line of scrimmage and make this tackle for a loss. That's a big-time play by a really good player.
It's 3rd and 4. Out of shotgun. It's dark. And this is going to be incomplete. That is a letdown there. Pass looked to be on target. No catch.
Results
and now 4th down.
It just seems like the offense gets in their own way, and whether it's a penalty or a drop or whatever the case may be, it's these self-inflicted wounds. They've got to stop if this unit ever wants to reach their full potential.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. They got him with a big-time rush that leads to a turnover on down.
And here we have a real gutsy call here, Mike, early in this game offensively. I think you're giving up a surefire field goal attempt, but at the same time, you're demonstrating to your players, hey, offense, I have a lot of trust in you, and let's see if they have this same approach as the rest of this game plays on.
The Packers offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They'll begin inside their own 15-yard line, so a lot of real estate to cover. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Love. That one too far out in front to be brought in.
Intended for
It's incomplete. Josh Jacobs was the intended receiver. And it'll be 2nd down.
He just stays on his primary read just a little bit too long. I think if he gets that ball to his check down a little bit quicker, not only is the ball completed, but I think there's some room to run. So, again, certain quarterbacks are better than others. The ability to process and eliminate targets quickly to move on to the next, that's a skill that really just comes from experience.
3rd and 8.
They need the 24-yard line as they come up for 3rd down. Out of of the shotgun. It's Love. On the move left. It's a big play there on third down, but there is a marker down, and that is not a good sign for the offense. That's on the former second-round pick, Elton Jenkins.
Still third down.
Now Love. The rush gets there. He goes down back inside the 5-yard line.
Jordan Love.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
Packers set to kick this one away.
For the Packers.
As he'll be standing just inside the back line of the end zone. And a nice return there. The offense not going to be backed up as much as they could have. The Giants going to start from beyond the 20. The Giants offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. They'll go play action here with Dart. Out to his right. He'll tuck it and take off.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
Second down and 6 now from the 26. Here's Dart. Now a short one caught by the tight end Johnson. And they'll whistle him down, but not before it picks up a 1st down after a gain of 7.
First down.
This play is actually really well defended here. But I'll tell you, Mike, as you know, my philosophy is the tight end is always open, and this just supports my case.
It's Tracy. They converge on him quickly. They'll only get a couple. Powerful Rashawn Gary there in run support.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 35-yard line.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 8. A carry here for Tracy. He's able to get away from one man, but the reinforcements were there fast. He's taken down for a loss on the play.
And this is a great example of why it's so important on defense to sprint to the ball. His ability to make people miss is hard for one guy to get him on the ground. But when you can get everybody to the ball, eventually you can take him down. And in this case, they do it for a loss.
Here's a 3rd and 10. Now Dart. That's to the sideline and intercepted. Picked off by Keyshawn Nixon. And he's going to give a short field to his offense here as they try to break the tie.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
The Packers offense back onto the field for their next possession. They'll start in outstanding field position, looking for a way to break our tie. On 1st down, it's Love. Oh, looking end zone, but is out of the reach of the receiver. And incomplete. Trying to connect with Romeo Doubs that time. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
So I like the aggressiveness of the call, but as the rest of the game unfolds, Mike, there needs to be better overall execution. A little bit cleaner. The next thing you know, they're going to hit some of those big shots.
Second down throw for Love. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a third down.
10 yards to go.
And that's another brutal drop for an offense that has struggled to catch the ball up to this point. And yes, you can nitpick about ball placement and whatnot, but listen, the reality is at this level, if it hits your hands, you have to find a way to come down.
He's got it at about the 8. And he will easily pick up the first down. They've got first and goal coming up.
And the Packers.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation. And that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
That's to Dobbs again. And he will score! Romeo Dobbs. Touchdown, Green Bay. Brandon McManus now to add the extra point.
The two-point attempt is no good. That keeps the score. Packers 9, Giants 3.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kicks away. This is fielded inside the 5. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line.
At their own
Giants
26-yard
offense
line.
ready to come back out for this next possession. Forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
And maybe a little more conservative approach following that interception on the last drive. With nobody open, instead of forcing it downfield, he just throws it away, and you can tell he's trying to avoid another costly mistake.
2nd and 10. Slayton is the man in motion. He'll run with Tracy. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
These negative runs, they just make everything for the play caller that much more difficult, Mike. So they've got to find a way to be more efficient on these early downs, meaning 1st and 2nd down, because if not, you find yourself the entire game in 3rd and pass, and that's what every single defense in the league is trying to do.
Operating from the gun, it's Dart. He's got his man, that's Slayton. A gain of 16 yards. First down, Giants.
And the Giants first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So here's a play, Mike, that is clearly designed to attack the middle third of the field. So think it's roughly the space between the numbers. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And once he understood where his leverage was and he gets his head around, great job by the quarterback on time, delivering a strike. How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back? But not this guy. Does a great job staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings him down for a loss.
On second down, Dart. That's tipped and intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a catch to extend their lead.
You talk about a well-rounded play from the entire defensive front, Mike. I mean, not only do they generate the pressure to force the bad throw, but then the big boy up front, he actually gets his hands on the ball and picks it off. I watched the D-line coach on the sideline losing his mind, and I'll be honest with you, I don't blame him.
That is Musgrave, man in motion. There he goes, inside the 30. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. A 19-yard pickup there. Good for a Green Bay first down.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
The offensive line doing a great job opening these run lanes. They have been there this entire first half, and I think if I'm this play caller, until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away, I think I'm just going to keep turning around and handing it to that guy.
This time they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap. Not this one. They stop him for no gain.
The integrity of the defense, Mike, is based on every defender holding their gap. That's exactly what we saw out of this defensive tackle. Not only did he hold his gap, he's able to shed his block and make the play.
Short throw there, pulled in by Musgrave. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down.
Luke Musgrave. A 3-yard pickup, and it's third down.
Back to throw is Love. That one too far out in front.
For Luke Musgrave.
Incomplete.
We're starting to see a lot of this on third down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these third down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball, and in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up fourth down.
Brandon McManus and the field goal unit come on. This one will be from 37 yards out. Oh, looked like he mishit it. He missed that one from short range. No good. And this is going to remain a one-possession game.
They're just trying to extend the lead here, and this is definitely one they're going to want to have back.
The Giants offense ready to take over once again. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. Edgerrin Cooper. He's in for the sack. It's going to be a loss of 8 to begin the drive.
Mike, this isn't real complicated. You're just not going to win a lot of NFL games when you continue to give up sacks at the rate that they are. I mean, this is just a complete disaster for this offensive line, and if they don't get it fixed, this game could be a runaway.
Out of the gun, here comes Dart. He'll get it into the hands of Slayton. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 12.
Third and long. Throwing is Dart. Going up top. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Potentially very big call here.
Automatic first down.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They run on the jet sweep. And there's defense having nothing of it. They get him down for a loss on the play.
On the tackle. It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 39-yard line.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. Throwing. Dart. They try to set up the screen, but this one doomed from the start. It's incomplete.
You know, it's hard to speculate, Mike. We sit up here, we try to just interpret and assume what's going on in the minds of the players and the minds of the coaches, but they seem to me to be a little bit rattled. All these negative plays have really started to pile up in the first half. He's got to settle down, have some more efficiency on these early downs, and get his offense into some sort of rhythm.
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
The Packers take over 1st and 10.
Packers offense about ready to take over once more. They work with a 6-point advantage as they start this drive on 1st and 10. Here's Love. He'll keep this himself. Probably should have given that one up. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You could see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
On 2nd down, Love. Nowhere to go. He is taken down. Robertson Harris in there for a loss of 5 on the sack. And now it's 3rd down.
What an unbelievable performance by this pass rush to start this game. And then on the flip side of things, I'm not sure if things could get any worse for this offensive line. I mean, they've got to figure something out, and they've got to do it in a hurry because they are completely outmatched right now at the moment.
That is Musgrave, the man in motion. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. To throw is Love. He'll let this one rip, looking for Watson. And that is incomplete. But a penalty flag is down. Let's see who they got.
Automatic first down.
Line of scrimmage is the 31 as they line up 1st and 10. Love to throw. And he can't get away. They rally to the football defensively. Bring him down for no gain.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to.
That one intercepted. Picked up by Cordell Flott.
You know, like, anytime a team can go nickel or dime and come off the field with an interception, I just am constantly reminded the importance of defensive back depth when you're building an NFL roster. I mean, think back. This is not the old NFL base 3-4, base 4-3. Offenses are going to roll out 2, 3, 4 high-level wide receivers at you in this pass-first modern era. If you can't roll out 5 DBs and all of them hold their own and be trusted to hold up, you are going to struggle defending these pass-first modern offenses.
Tracy on first down. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard out of that one. It's second down.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the Packers' 31-yard line.
Looking to throw. It's Darts. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a third down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
Dart. Now a screen set up for Tracy. Good hustle by the defense. They beat the offensive lineman to the blocks there. No gain on that screen pass.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Here is Graham Gano to try the field goal.
A 49-yard
This one from 49. And that's going to run out of speed. It comes up short. No good. And they are not able to draw closer.
There's an old saying in golf, Mike, that when you're on the green, never up, never in. In this case, the ball's on target. It just didn't have enough steam to get there. Winds up no good.
The Packers offense going to take over here in the final minute of this first half. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. That is Musgrave, the man in motion. Love to throw it on first down.
Love's pass complete to Luke Musgrave. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 46-yard line.
Second down and 3. Here's Love to throw. Oh, huge mistake late in the half. It is intercepted. And he's going to give his guys a short field to work with and a chance to take the lead.
And these are the throws that are really holding the offense back right now, Mike. He just has to make better decisions because you're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over at this rate.
The Giants offense going to get it one last time here late in the opening half. They'll start from the plus side of midfield, looking to possibly take the lead here. It's 1st and 10. Out of shotgun. It's Dart. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass you say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down.
40-yard line.
All right, so the ball falls incomplete, but I think what it does now, Mike, is it allows you to stop the clock, get in the huddle, take a deep breath, and now your play caller has to give you the best play. Go get points here before the half and try to build something going into halftime.
They'll try to hit him with a screen. And a good job rallying to the football. Holding just a gain of a yard and sets up third down.
A gain of 1 brings up third down and 9.
And with just 4 seconds left in the first half, a timeout is called. Here is Graham Gano to try the field goal.
The Giants field goal.
This will be from 56 yards away. That is not going to do it. Tried to bite off a lot with that one. It's no good. And they are not able to draw closer.
Man, that would have been such a nice boost for this group going into halftime. The snap was good. The hold was good. He just couldn't quite get it through the uprights.
Love to throw on 1st and 10. That's caught right side. It's the tight end Musgrave. Halftime coming up, and we'll take you down to Scott Hanson for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Scott Hanson, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thank you. Both teams trying to find the right formula as they come out for the second half. It's about to get underway. Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. Olszewski now to return. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start.
The Giants take over.
The Giants offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. The deficit, 6 points. For a touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. 1st and 10. The throw is dark. And good yardage there after the catch to wind up with a gain of 7 on 1st down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 36-yard line.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a give up the middle. Just a couple here, but there is a marker on the field as well.
Still 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Motion man is Hyatt. Back to the ground after the penalty. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now, and partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage in the game.
Out of the gun, 3rd down. It's dark. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
A 6-yard loss.
And that just has to be demoralizing for this offense. I guarantee One of the first things they talked about during the break was slowing down the pass rush. So, needless to say, that's not what they want to see.
The Giants sending out their punter
formation for the
as
Giants.
this drive quickly stalled out, so he's on to punt it away. And he didn't give the Gunners a chance to get down there and make the play for him. It's into the end zone and a touchback. The Packers offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. On a play action, Love. And for a third time today, he's intercepted. Picked off by Tyler Newman.
You know, Mike, I like the mindset of this offensive coordinator. He's saying, listen, I'm not looking to preserve this lead. I'm looking to extend my lead. Now, that aggressive play calling, in this case, led to the turnover. Now your defense has to take the field. Can they bail you out and keep this lead unchanged prior to their next possession?
Here's the Giants offense. Now they get set to take over once more. They'll begin with great field position, a short field, in fact, as they start with a 1st down. Him behind the line.
47-yard line.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
To the air on 2nd down. Dart. That one going nowhere, but a late penalty flag comes in. They may get bailed out here.
Automatic 1st down.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. Penalty. They'll run it. They'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Going to lose a yard.
So the offense trots out the old jumbo package. So they bring out 3 tight ends, big bodies. But the defense kind of sees it coming. They've got to change it up. You can't be so predictable. Big bodies run, small bodies pass. And I think that's a little bit of what's going on here.
Here's a 2nd and 12. Now, Dart. And that ball in and out of his hands. It is incomplete. Might tell you after the game he should have come up with that one. He doesn't, and now 3rd down comes up.
12 yards to go.
I feel like their quarterback, for the most part, has looked pretty solid. I mean, it's everybody else that seems to have let him down with the drop balls and the mistakes. That's really what's killing these drives.
That's deep to the back of the end zone. This one is caught. It is a touchdown. There's a marker down. Let's see if it holds up.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Now it's Graham Gano for the PAT. This one is no good. He missed the extra point in this tight game. Boy, that could come to be a big factor as this second half rolls along.
So
back to level after the touchdown. And time for the kickoff. This taken in at the 8-yard line. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. Out comes the Green Bay offense now as they get set to take over again. Low-scoring game, all tied. Third quarter, and a touchdown here could go a long way. See if they can get it on this drive. 1st and 10. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all.
At the 25-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, it's Bump. Over the middle, he fits it into Dobbs. And they're going to move the ball all the way up to the 45-yard line. He had their lone touchdown of the game earlier, and he comes through with the catch and a first down in this spot.
First down, Green Bay.
This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in, balls on time, results in a nice first down pickup.
He'll burrow his way forward for a couple. That's Bobby Okereke there for the stop.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at their 48-yard line.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Jacobs. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. 16-yard pickup on that one. First down, Packers.
We're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
Inside the 10, it is caught. And they're going to be set up now as he's brought down at the 5-yard line.
31 yards.
A big gainer for Green Bay.
First down.
31 yards.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
And this offense is now really on the move, Mike, and it's the passing game that's leading the way. They've been able to march their way downfield thanks to this aerial attack, so don't expect them to go to the ground game anytime soon. If I'm this play caller, I'm continuing to lead on this, not only in this drive, but probably for the rest of this game.
And he's going to be stopped just short of the goal line. Couldn't reach that ball across, setting up 2nd and goal. Second and goal. Now Love. Here's a screen taken in by Jacobs. And this one ruins quickly. Take him back to the 5-yard line.
It's a loss of 4.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped, and that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
From back at the 5, here now 3rd and goal. Here's Love. And that is incomplete.
I can guarantee you that interception interception he threw on the previous drive. That's still in the back of his mind. You got to know when to take a chance, and you got to know when to just throw the ball away and live for the next down.
Brandon McManus and the field goal unit come on.
22-yard attempt.
His kick
The kick
is good. And the Packers will take the lead here in the third quarter.
Job number one on this drive, find a way to get the lead. They, of course, would have loved to score a touchdown, Mike. But 3 points here, that's a pretty good consolation prize as it moves them out in front.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Olszewski now to return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. The Giants offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. They'll motion their tight end Johnson. Now is Tracy looking to run. And they're going to mark him down past the 35. That one good for a dozen. A very quick first down.
And the Giants first down.
Well, a really nice start here to the drive. Early down success. Every offensive coordinator is trying to find ways. How do we pick up first downs without having to get to third down? You see it here, big explosive run. The rest of the drive unfolds.
And a nice game there on first down. He takes it forward for 8 yards.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 44-yard line.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. Operating from the gun, it's Clark. He'll step up and run, and they're going to work this down inside the 45. Give him 11 on the scrambles, and give them a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
I love this call, Mike. 2nd down and short. One of the best downs in football to take a shot. Give credit to the defense. They were ready for it. But a nice job by the quarterback, realizing there's nothing downfield. Take off, turn into a runner, pick up the first down.
On the handoff, here comes Tracy. And that'll be a pickup of 3.
Taken down at the 41. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Dart. That is caught. It's Robinson. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
It's going to be 3rd. They need 1. They'll run the sneak. And he'll be stacked up. The line is straight.
It's a gain of a yard.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run. 3rd and short, 4th and short. The ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and to say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and now continue to find opportunities to go generate points.
Up the middle they go. And he'll get forward for a couple. Javon Bullard there on the tackle.
Down by Javon Bullard. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the Packers' 32-yard line.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 8. They'll run again. It's Tracy again. And he'll take nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
A gain of a yard Brings up 3rd and 7.
They need the 24-yard line as they come up for 3rd down. Back to throw. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
You can tell that all these hits, Mike, they're starting to add up. He just doesn't look comfortable. His eyes aren't downfield. You can see his feet aren't settled. When you get sacked this many times in a game, it's kind of hard to blame him, but he's definitely feeling it.
Here is Graham Gano to try the field goal. This is going to be from 53 yards out. And that one not going to have enough leg behind it. Not by a long shot. It is no good. And this is going to remain a 3-point game. Josh Jacobs and the Packers offense heading back onto the field. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of conversation in that locker room at halftime. They got to find a way to slow him down. Nothing they've done has worked so far. They go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all.
Taken down at the 43-yard line. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 43, here's 2nd down and 9. They motion the slot man left. They'll go play action with Love. And they'll get this one down to the 35-yard line. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down.
You know, Mike, these crossing routes, you just see them being used more and more often. And really, it's because it's good against any defense. And what it does is it creates separation. It allows some of your best players to catch the ball on the move. And that short throw oftentimes turns into a long run. Unfortunately, Mike, over my career, I've been in this guy's shoes plenty of times. Probably more than I wish to admit. Take your eyes off the ball. You think about becoming a runner before securing the catch. And when you do that, you end up watching the ball fall to the ground.
Throwing on 2nd down, Love. That one just too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
It's pretty remarkable at this stage, Mike, that they're even winning this game. I mean, anytime a quarterback is completing less than 50% of his throws, you just don't see that very often, and it just seems like time and time again, this quarterback and his intended targets, they're just not on the same page.
Oh, maybe a free play, and he'll look to throw it. Caught him in a flash, and he lost the football. Still going. And he rumbles his way into the end zone. The fumble recovery, and a great return for the touchdown.
Offside. Defense.
But penalty yardage certainly helps. Now it's 3rd down, and they need 5. In motion goes Dobbs. He's going to uncork one. Looking for Wicks. That is caught. What a throw. Dontavian Wicks. Touchdown, Packers.
Green Bay.
What separates the really good quarterbacks from everybody else in the National Football League, Mike, is not only ability to process, but the ability to process quickly under pressure. And I think that's exactly the case here. He's able to go through his progression, find his target in the end zone, and then deliver that ball on time, accurately, and the result is a touchdown.
Brandon
Now it's
McManus lining up for the extra point.
He's got
His
it.
kick is
And the
good.
Packers will extend
Makes
this
the
third
score
quarter lead.
Packers 19, Giants 9.
The kickoff team is out on the field.
To kick
And
off
we're
for
back
Green
to
Bay.
it as the kick's away. Olszewski now to return. And he's down at
Gunnar
the
Olszewski
23, and
on
that's
the
where the
return.
offense
The
will take
Giants
over.
take over first and 10.
The Giants offense
their own
ready for
23-yard
this
line.
next possession. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with first down. Out of a gun, here comes Dart. That one thrown behind his target,
Intended for
and it'll be
Theo
incomplete.
Johnson.
Well, it's pretty clear the main reason why they find
Coverage
themselves
defensively
trailing in this
by
game, Mike,
Micah
has really just been the
Parsons.
inefficiency of this offense and primarily out of the quarterback position. I mean, to complete less than half of your pass attempts, it just makes it very hard to compete at a high level consistently in the NFL. And if they want to find themselves having any chance of getting back into this game and winning this one,
Carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. It's picked up by one of his teammates.
now, obviously, there's never a good time to fumble the ball. It's probably the thing that teams
First and
stress
10 at
the
the
most is
38-yard
ball
line.
security. But it makes it a little bit easier knowing that your own team was able to fall on top of it, and at least you can maintain possession.
Now a first and 10 from the 38-yard line. Throwing. Dart. He's got his man. That's Slayton. He's close to a first down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on first down.
A gain of 9 brings up second and 1 at the 29-yard line.
From the 29, here's second and a yard. Now, whistles here. Looks like one of the defenders got a head start.
Encroachment, defense. Automatic first down.
Here's first and 10. Throwing is Dart. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in
13 yards
time.
on the play.
It's a first down.
That's another.
The rookie from
Giants
Ole Miss put
first
that
down.
one on target
First
for
down
the
and
first
10
down.
yards to go.
It's just so impressive to see how good these guys are, especially the veterans, Mike. They've been out there a long time, a lot of experience. They know exactly where they are on the sideline, not only to secure this catch, but to be able to toe tap and drag that second foot. That's a big-time play by a big-time receiver. Initially, Mike, a really good job
It's a
by the
gain of
defense.
9.
Nowhere to go with
Brings
the
up
ball for this
second
quarterback.
and a yard.
He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. A little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
Contact up front. Did they get one of the
Neutral zone
defenders to
infraction.
jump?
Defense.
Still second down.
They'll motion their tight end, Johnson. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in for the touchdown. But hold everything. There is a marker down. These points may come off the board.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So, a costly penalty here. It wipes away the touchdown. Defense stiffening here. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. 3rd and goal coming up.
This defense doing a great job here facing this goal-to-go situation, especially on that last play. 2 stops down, and now the pressure really ramps up for this offense as they face 3rd and goal.
Looking to throw. It's dark. That is incomplete, but there is a flag down.
Personal foul.
Big call here. Defense. It was 3rd down. What a critical flag. Roughing the passer. It sets up 1st and goal. He pulls it in around the 5. And he gets to the outside and takes it in. Greg, sometimes we say it too often. That was an important drive. That one really felt important for them to edge a little bit closer.
Yeah, now the question is, Mike, yeah, the offense does their job, but can the defense get a stop? They've got to continue to get the ball back to their offense. Let them build on that previous drive because they've still got some work to do.
Gano on to add the extra point. And this one is no good. He missed the extra point in this tight game. Boy, that could come to be a big factor as this second half rolls along. So out is Gano after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. On the return, it's Williams. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Packers offense ready to take over possession of the football. The lead sits at 4. So they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Love. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'll say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down.
Even though it doesn't result in a sack, when you dial up the right pressure at the right time, Mike, sometimes that's all it takes to lead to that incompletion. The timing is just a little off between the quarterback and his intended target, and the ball falls incomplete.
This is taken in by Dobbs. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
It's a gain of 18.
He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now. And a first down to boot.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
This is what every offense looks to do, Mike. They want to attack the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And oftentimes, that's where the chunk plays come. Give it to your receiver on the move and let them do the rest.
On 1st down, it's Love. Looking down the field there, but it falls incomplete.
Been a bit of a pedestrian game for this quarterback and ultimately this passing game here today, Mike. And I know they all would have loved to connect on that deep throw. I think that stat sheet would have looked a whole lot different, but just a little off in their execution and leads to an incompletion.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. And he lost the football. And then turnover here. One of the guards able to get the football and get on it to keep possession.
Fumbled on the play.
And they should consider themselves lucky. You can't let a pass rusher through that quickly and not expect there to be consequences. Fortunately, they're at least able to fall on it and prevent this from being a complete disaster.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Love. That is into the hands of Wicks. And he will have a first down, but I don't think that's going to stand. They're already heading backwards. Rasheed Walker, guilty of the infraction. They'll throw now 3rd and forever. And for the 4th time today, he has been intercepted. Picked off by Tyler Nubin. So back and forth they go as we are through 3. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. A run to start the 4th quarter, and here's Tracy. And that's going nowhere. Thrown down, literally and awkwardly.
No gain
right
on
at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10.
I know it's easy from up in the booth, Mike, but I think that's one of those zone reads where the quarterback needs to pull it and keep it himself. The defense was clearly keyed on the running back. Not much room in there. No gain.
He has Hyatt complete. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line.
13 yards on
Remember,
the play.
he had the touchdown catch the last time they had the football.
First down.
Here, he's got a first down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
And now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And he's not going to get away. They're going to bring him down on the other side of midfield.
On the tackle.
So much of what makes a toss play so good is it allows you to get the ball on the perimeter of the defense really quickly, and it doesn't stress all of your backside blocking. But on the downside, it does get your running back running east and west. They're running sideways for the first couple steps, and with a defense that can run to the ball, we're able to get you down for a loss.
He'll get it into the hands of Slayton. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 13.
And a shotgun. It's done. This one broken up. It's incomplete.
Intended
Good job
for Jalen
separating
Hyatt.
the receiver from the ball. And it is
It's
4th down.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on 3rd down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on 4th down or simply punt or take a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns.
Jordan Love, the rest of the Packer offense, ready for their next possession. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And a good piece of running there. He'll get about 9 yards past the 35-yard line.
He's done a really nice job making the most of his touches. They've made it a priority. Let's use this ground game to try to wear down the defense. And right now, it's one of the main reasons why they have the lead.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
Tackled back at the
at this point, the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air on 3rd down? Or do they play it safe and keep running the clock by keeping the ball on the ground?
That is Musgrave, the man in motion. From the gun, on 3rd down, it's Love. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
When you get the ball in this situation, what you're looking to do is not only end the drive with a touchdown to put the game away, but you'd love to chew up some clock. So with that incomplete pass now likely putting an end to this series, that's a big opportunity for them to try to close this game out.
The Giants take over.
The Giants offense ready to take over once more. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Dart. That ball flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Fortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. Could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up 2nd down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Dart going to throw here on 2nd down. He'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. Didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down.
And 10.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
Big play coming up. This is 3rd down. The throw is Dart. He'll just have to throw this one away. There was nowhere to go downfield. And now it's going to bring up a 4th down.
You have to wonder, Mike, how are those previous mistakes he made earlier in the game still lingering in the back of his mind? You can tell he's being a little bit more conservative. He doesn't want to risk throwing a 3rd interception and kind of just throws this one away.
Get the check he was hoping for in that one. That goes into the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Jordan Love, the rest of the Packer offense, ready for their next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with a way to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. Love to throw it on 1st down. Here's a screen taken in by Jacobs. And he's got it to the 35-yard line.
Jacobs.
Terrific starter there. Gain of 15 and a 1st down.
And the Packers.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the fourth quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative. Just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock.
Wow, they are moving the ball to start this drive. 21 on that play.
A gain of 21 yards.
And this is the point of the game, Mike, where you really can start leaning on your run game and try to close this game out. You've got the lead, you're in the fourth quarter, and they're able to pop off a big run.
That one down the field, but it is incomplete.
Just a little bit too much juice on that one, and you just can't throw the ball out of bounds. Give your receiver a chance to go up and compete for the ball, but when you miss that far wide, he's got no shot.
2nd and 10. That is Musgrave, the man in motion. That complete to Jacobs. He's going to be taken down at about the 30.
It's a gain of 14
That's a pair of hookups on this drive. This one goes for 14 yards and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
And this is what modern-day running back looks like in the NFL. They want to be able to activate these players in the passing game, no different than they do with the tight ends and the wide receivers. When you look out there and you have a mismatch, you have a linebacker or a safety on your running back, he's expected to win. And that's exactly what he did here.
Christian Watson, the intended receiver.
2nd and 10.
And it'll lead to a second down.
I can tell you from firsthand experience, Mike, that is a lonely and long jog back to the huddle. I mean, you're an inch away from being the hero with a deep touchdown. Instead, you let it go through your fingertips, and you got to come back to the huddle and try again. Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. When that defender's bearing down, you really get a good idea of what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch, and in this case, what guys are unwilling.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. He'll take a shot for Watson. Oh, they got the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Cordell Flott.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's position. Being able to get himself to a spot, to get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown. And instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
The Giants offense headed back to take over once more. On first down, he's going to run it. And he's out of bounds up beyond the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 27
yards. 27 yards.
And the Giants first
At this
down.
point, it just gets frustrating for the defense.
First
Right? I
and
mean, you've been
10 at
watching
the
this guy make big
47-yard
play
line.
after big play all game long, not only on the quarterback-designed runs, but it's the scrambles that can really break the back of a defense, and we saw it again here.
Here's Dart on first and 10. Toward the middle of the field that time, but incomplete.
Theo Johnson.
Seems like there was some miscommunication that time. They clearly weren't on the same page. That's something that they've got to get on the sideline and get corrected as soon as possible, because I think they just missed out on what could have been a big play.
On the handoff, Singletary. And they'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to third down.
He's across midfield to the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Operating from the gun, it's Dark. One of his teammates there to take it back in.
So even though they avoid the turnover, this is still a play that they're going to coach hard off of. They're going to bring guys into the meeting room next week and say, hey guys, we're not always going to be so fortunate. The ball is not always going to bounce our way. Anybody who handles the ball from the center to the quarterback to any of the ball carriers, the most important aspect of team offense is protecting the ball at all costs.
And not the greatest of results here. This is going to hit in the field of play and continue out of bounds. Josh Jacobs and the Packers offense heading back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. Now, Jacobs. He's going to force his way for a yard or 2, but looks like this one's going to be coming back. Love. Off-balance throw. It's complete. And he's taken down up past the 35. A gain there of 23 yards.
23 yards.
Good for a Green Bay first down.
For a Packers first down. It's a gain of 23 yards.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there. At this stage in the fourth quarter, great job by the defense understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to bleed the clock, shorten the game. They completely sold out to stop the run, able to take them down for a loss.
2nd down throw for Love. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Oftentimes, it's the wide open ones that are the hardest to catch. It seems like the ball is in the air forever. You start overthinking it. You start really making more of it than what you should, and you let it slip away.
Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looks like he may have got a little ahead of himself there, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
And on 3rd down, what they're trying to do, Mike, is just get the ball out of his hands quickly and into the hands of one of his playmakers, but he just doesn't focus through the catch. Lapse of concentration, ends up in a drop, and falls incomplete.
On comes the Packers punting team as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a fourth quarter lead.
The Giants take
Here's
over
the Giants offense. Now they get set to take over once more. On 1st and 10, here is Dart. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
There was no hesitation from the quarterback. From the jump, he knew where he wanted to go with that ball, but still leads to an incompletion. They're just still not quite on the same page.
To the air on 2nd down. Dart He'll step up and run this.
You know, Mike, nice job here by the quarterback, just understanding on these early downs, you just don't want to go backwards. So he's able to avoid the negative play, pick up a little bit, and mostly avoid the sack.
Got to get it to the 30. Here comes third down. Out of the gun, here comes Dart. He'll try and get there on the ground. And he'll get into the slide here, but he's going to be well short of the first down.
And that's a great job defensively here on third down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the first down.
The Giants sending out their punt
formation for the Giants.
They forced a punt, trailing here in the fourth quarter.
The Packers take over.
Packers offense and Romeo Doubs heading out for their next possession. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been unquestionably the star of the show, as they have just absolutely had no answer on the defensive side of the ball. On 1st and 10, here's Love. Over the middle, he fits it into Dobbs. And he'll be brought down up past the 35-yard line.
Defense.
On play action, Love. Oh, they got the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Bobby O'Carrigan.
This is entering the wrong of rarefied air. I mean, as in, it's only happened a handful of times since the turn of the millennium. It's an entire season's worth of picks thrown in just one game. I think at this point, you junk the playbook, you light it on fire, and we're just going to start from scratch next week.
The Giants offense ready to get back at it. They'll begin just shy of midfield with a 1st and 10. Throwing is Dart. This one taken in by Hyatt. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line.
24 yards.
An ideal beginning to this drive. 24 on the first play.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late. Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
Here's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, it's Singletary. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the 1st down marker. And they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
Here we go. 3rd and a yard. Play fake. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
Sometimes in the NFL, you have to be careful what you ask for. This offensive line, they were very clear to us this week. They wanted to take on this group. They loved the ability to be challenged. Well, they might have poked the bear a little bit too much because they've now surrendered a whopping 10 sacks in a single game. And I don't think there's been any signs of this pass rush slowing down.
So now, Graham Gano, the veteran. in another pressure spot.
Attempt.
This to get back within a field goal. The Packers offense and Romeo Doubs heading out for their next possession. This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. Now Love. Got his receiver on the in-cut. He's got it. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 1. From the gun, it's Love. That is pulled in by Musgrave. And now flags fly as a gain of about 4 could be negated. From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 7. Off the play fake. Here, the blitz overwhelms the offensive line, and down he goes.
Big-time opportune sack there by the defense. Mike, they're right on the cusp of field goal range. You can't allow this to become a 2-possession ball game here in the 4th quarter. Massive 3rd down coming up here. See if they can get off the field and get the ball back to their offense.
This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. That is Musgrave, the man in motion. Throwing is Love. And they will continue to go backwards. He's taken down for a sack.
As this clock continues to tick, we're getting dangerously close here to do-or-die territory. But after that 3rd down sack, real good chance of getting off the field. No points allowed. Let's see if their offense now can do their job, because defense certainly did theirs.
So it's 4th down. They'll call on the punt team as he'll have to hit it from his own end zone.
The Giants take over.
So now
1st and
here
10
is Jackson,
at their
Dart,
own
and
20-yard
the
line.
Giants. Down by 4. 2:25 remaining. Plenty of time here. 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they begin 1st and 10. This is 1st and 10. Here's Dart. He has Hyatt complete. He's close to a 1st down. Gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 29-yard line.
So 2 minutes left to play in the 2nd half. We'll come back and finish this one off. After this, here's 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. He gets that complete downfield to Slayton. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. It's a gain there of 26 yards.
first and 10 at the 44-yard line.
All right, this is a good start. Plays like these are definitely going to help as you work your way into scoring range. While you have to be wary of the clock and keep an eye on it, they should have plenty of time here to finish this drive.
To throw is Dart on first and 10. And he can't hang on through the contact. Incomplete. Good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. It'll bring up second down.
Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate on the field. They know every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes. So give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
And the Giants here will use the first of their timeouts. Talk things over before third down.
As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, the key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. The quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion.
Time now becoming a factor as we get to third down. Now, whistles here. Looks like one of the defenders got a head start.
Automatic first down.
Plenty of time, plus 2 timeouts at their disposal. It's first and 10. Throwing again, Dart. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on first down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in second and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the first down here? Or is the idea to just make third?
Oh, he can't get rid of it, and he's taken down.
The quarterback sacked.
I can promise you, Mike, when this play call went into the headset of the quarterback, nobody on the coaching staff thought this play was going to result in a sack. This ball is expected to come out quick, wide receiver screen, and do the rest after the catch. Something was thrown off with the timing, and quarterback had no choice but to eat it and gets taken down for a sack.
Out of the gun, third down. Oh, and a pressure there. He can't get a throwaway, and he's taken down.
I think the defense came in confident that they'd be able to get after the quarterback, right, Mike? When we met with them this week, they felt like they had a really good plan, some exotic looks, some different pressure packages, and it's worked to perfection. I'm not sure they thought they'd be 1 sack away for breaking the NFL record for the most sacks in a single game, but here we are.
This is caught. Got a long way to go. And he's going to have the Giants first down. And it's a big letdown there defensively. Somehow they allow them to convert on 4th and long.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Shotgun. It's Dart. He's got it at the 7. And he's taken down, but they are in business. This sets up first and goal.
More yards.
As the saying goes, Mike, you need your big-time players to make big-time plays, and the moment doesn't get bigger than this. Find yourself down. A touchdown gives you a chance to win this thing in regulation, and I think they got a shot.
Now, first and goal. Looking to throw. It's Dart. That's hauled in at the 2. And he's into the end zone for a touchdown. There is a marker down, but I think this score is going to hold up.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense. Penalty is declined.
Now this, an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. An important extra point up and good, so the lead is 3 here in the late stages of the game.
19.
So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. This one taken at the 7. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Packers offense ready to get back to work. They'll come up for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun. It's Bond. Short throw there, pulled in by Musgrave. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. That's a timeout for Green Bay. It'll be their second. They stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
This offense still has the 1 timeout to use. 1st and 10 coming up now. They go right back. He's hit after the catch, and the ball comes free. And it will be another turnover as this defense does it again.
Recovered by the Giants.
And there is the backbreaker, Mike. The one thing you can't have late in the ball game is a turnover. You're ready, you're up against the wall. You know you need a late score here to come back from behind, and let's give credit to this defense. They know they were a stop away from victory, and after forcing that late turnover, it looks like they're going to seal this one.
Only 1 timeout remaining for the defense as they take a knee. So it's a win for the Men in Blue. The Giants get it done. They use a little home cooking here. They play a complete football game. They're going to send their fans home quite happy. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olsen and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Giants are winners as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.